Did you ever hear the saying, the how is not yours to figure out? Just show up, be high vibe, and then things will come your way, right? I want to clarify today what this saying really means because I see there's a lot of misunderstanding within the spiritual community. So if you are a spiritual woman, if you have a business and you want to really blend the 3D and the 5D and understand really what it means, the how is not yours to figure out, then this episode is for you. Welcome back, beautiful, to the Sacred Roots podcast. I'm really excited to dive into this episode where we're going to really unveil the truth behind the saying and how you can take aligned action, lead with your soul, and not get overwhelmed in overthinking, overgiving, over-delivering, stuck in your mind, and not lead with your heart. Because we know that the heart is much more magnetic than the mind. So everything that you do from this sacred space of your heart will have a much greater impact and be much more successful than the mind. We'll speak about that as well in a second. Before we dive into all of that, I want to share with you about my upcoming free soul workshop. On September 16, I'm going to be hosting the biggest event of the year and also my last free event of the year. I've done 2, 3 this year, and this one is going to be the last one. It is called She Who Remembers, and it is for the spiritual and ambitious woman entrepreneur who feels that she's meant for more, that she's at the threshold of a new chapter. So maybe you have these voices inside of you that are saying, who am I really? Why am I here? I've built this business. I've had a certain kind of success, but now the joy, the passion is gone. And you might not feel as fulfilled as you used to be or on purpose as you used to be. And it can be a very confusing place to be at. And I want you to know that this is not random. And it doesn't mean that you're broken and you need to throw away all your business. But it does mean that you're being initiated, that you're being invited to initiate a new chapter, that you're being invited to express a deeper part of you that once it's out into the world, it initiates you into a new way of being. The word initiation in and of itself has deeper meaning that I will reveal within this training. But truly, during those 2, 3 hours, I'm going to share with you the 4 pillars to remember who you truly are and who you came here to be. And I'm going to share with you as well the 3 biggest mistakes that spiritual women entrepreneurs make when they are on this path of fully stepping into their purpose, of truly finding that soul grounded, blissful fulfillment and living with divine union, really communion with the divine, with the unseen. That's exactly what we'll be speaking about in this soul workshop. And then at the end, I will guide you through a soul activation. And for all of you who are showing up live, there will be a gift at the end. I'm going to keep it a surprise, but I'm so excited when I had this idea. I know you're going to love this idea. I'm going to give you a little hint. You'll be able to hold it in your hand, but it will also hold a frequency that is unique to you. I'm just going to leave it to there. That's for all of you coming to She Who Remembers on September 16 and staying until the end of the 2-hour soul workshop. Of course, you'll find the link in the show notes of this episode, and I cannot wait to see you there on September 16 at She Who Remembers. Beautiful. Let's dive in. So, the title and the theme of this podcast, the topic of this podcast, really came to me from a conversation that we had inside my Rose Temple, my Divine Feminine membership, because this was something that one of the women was struggling with. And so I think it's so misunderstood that I really wanted to bring it to you and dive more into details into this topic. The how is not yours to figure out. It's like, okay, but then what do? I still need to take action. I just stay there and wait. The problem when we hear that is that we have a tendency to then just lay back and wait for everything to happen. But that's not how it works either. And at the root of this misunderstanding is the lack of teachings. I don't see many spiritual teachers or people speaking about this. And I'm speaking about the co-creative relationship that you are in with the divine. Whether you are aware of it or not, whether you use that relationship that you are in, you are, yes, creating your life. But there's a light being holding your hand, creating your life with you. Call it spirit guides, angel, mother divine, goddess, your soul, call it the way you want. But you are co-creating your life. Because otherwise, everything that you'd want would just be brought to you like that if you were the only creator. But you came here on earth to create, just like the creator who loves to create, just like the goddess. But you also came here to grow, to learn, to expand, to fulfill a purpose, to release some karma, to learn some lessons. There's a lot in your spiritual agenda for this lifetime. And so life organizes itself around that. And so when I say that, it's all these things that you decided before incarnation, that you said, oh yes, I'm going to learn this lesson. I'm going to release this karma. I'm going to fall in love with this person. I'm going to have these children. Of course, you always have free will on all these things once you incarnate, but a lot of these are determined before incarnation. And this master plan is impacting your life right now. And you can make these elements and decisions that you've made in the before incarnation in the other world, you can influence them with the desires that you have as a human being once you've incarnated. And so you create your life with your desires, with your intentions, with your energy, with your actions, and with these elements that you've decided before incarnating, but that you've forgotten. Because when we incarnate here, there's a veil of forgetfulness. There's amnesia that comes with it. And sometimes we have flashes where we remember. And sometimes we can access parts within ourselves that help us remember. And this is exactly what we're going to see on September 16th. Because a part of you knows who you came here to be and who you really are. It's about expressing that now in this world, 3D world. So you are creating your life. And then there is life, the divine, your spirit guides, your soul, that is putting experiences on your path to fulfill your purpose, to heal your wounds, to release your karma, to learn the lessons that you came here to learn. And also to support you in fulfilling the desires that you spoke out, that you wrote down, the intentions you have in your heart as a 3D human being right now. The way this works is that life is constantly checking in with you. What's your frequency? What are your beliefs? What's showing up in your field right now? What are you letting go of? What are you stepping into? And it's constantly trying to mirror back at you who you're being. I'm sure you've heard this principle, as above, so below, as within, so without. This is a very ancient Hermetic principle that simply says, it's like the law of correspondence, another way of saying it. It's a spiritual law that governs our planet that simply says your external world is a reflection of your inner world. So if you wonder who you're being, just look at your external reality. You're always being shown. And ask yourself, a person that has this kind of business, this kind of relationship, this kind of house, what would her beliefs be? What would her issues be? What would she need to let go of to step into another reality? That's a beautiful way to take a step back and to look at, where am I now? What's my life reflecting back at me, mirroring back at me, being the correspondence of? And how does that align or not with where I want to go? Okay, this is to set the scene for you to understand this co-creative relationship that you are in with the divine. And this co-creative relationship that you're in always begins with you. You are the one leading it, because we live in a world with free will. And the universe is always listening, always checking with your frequency, but cannot intervene. So the way it begins with you is with you stating your intention, your desires. Step number one is, what do I want? And we're going to dive a little bit more into that step number one because there's much more to be said. If you express a desire that is a soul desire rather than an ego desire, you are going to experience much more fulfillment, and it will unfold much faster as well because it is more aligned with your essence, your soul. So how do you know if it's a soul desire or an ego desire? A soul desire really is something that is going to expand you, something that feels exciting, joyful, and actually you don't know the how. And that's often when that saying comes of, the how is not yours to figure out. Well, yes, but I still need to take action, don't I? We're going to come to that in a second. So you know that you have a soul desire come up when it feels exciting, it feels joyful, it feels a little bit scary, edgy, like, whoa, this is taking me out of my comfort zone. Can I really do this? Do I have the shoulders? Maybe you have a bit of imposter syndrome coming up because that's your ego that's showing up suddenly. Your soul knows you can do it. Your soul knows you have everything within, and that's why you want it. But you're still becoming the version that fully has it. So your ego might doubt. It might be a sudden idea that came out of the blue, a sudden desire that doesn't even really make sense, but you just know it's right and you don't know the how. You don't have the master plan. If all these signs show up, you know it's a soul desire. An ego desire, on the other hand, is going to feel very differently. It's going to feel like it's achievable, it's doable, you know how to do it, you already have the plan set up, it feels comfortable, not particularly edgy, and essentially, it is there to keep you safe. It is there because you might not feel safe, and you want that to feel safe. So whenever you have a desire that comes from this place of lack, uncertainty, self-doubt, insecurities, not feeling safe, this desire comes to fulfill a need of your ego. Because the role of your ego is to make sure that you're loved and that you're safe. So be really honest with yourself. Why do I want this 6-figure launch? Why do I want this many clients? Why do I want this house? Because I can and it feels expansive and fun? Or because I think that once I have the money, once I have the clients, once I have the visibility, once I have the house, I'll feel safe. I'll be able to rest. I'll feel confident. Because if you think that that's going to come from something external, unfortunately, you'll be very disappointed once you get there. And maybe you have to experience that for yourself. I'm not here to tell you how you'll feel. But from personal experience and speaking with a lot of entrepreneurs and spiritual teachers and understanding the anatomy of the soul and the human psyche, I can tell you this is how you'll feel. But don't take my word for it. Experience it, take the lesson, and then choose otherwise. So it's very useful to be able to check within yourself. Why do I want to do this? Is it coming from my soul or is it coming from my ego? And it can be as simple as, we don't need to talk about big goals here, like 6-figure launches or having a business. It can be as simple as, why do I want to do this post on social media today? Why do I want to write this email? Why do I want to do this launch? Do you want to do it for the money? Do you want to do it so you stay top of mind? Do you want to do it to get clients? Because if you're trying to do it to get something, it comes from your ego. And that is going to be the energy that you put out into the world. And because the world is always trying to mirror back at you who you are, guess what you're going to get back? The lack. the fear, the insecurity, because life is trying to show you who you are. So if you write a post, if you make an email, if you create content, if you show up live, if you record a podcast, because you want to get clients, you want to make the money, because then you're going to feel safe, then you can pay off your debt because you think you're not safe right now. What you're putting out into the world is fear and insecurity. You are going to receive more situations that will show and reveal that fear and insecurity. You're not going to get what you want. Now, does that mean that you need to stop making content, a podcast, and emails? No. Whenever you catch yourself having a desire that comes from that place of fear and lack, go back into your heart, because you're not in your heart right now. Go back into the part of you that knows that you're guided, that you're held, that you're safe, that the light being holding your hand on this human journey is not just holding your hand, but carrying you on their shoulders. And that you can rest there and create from a place of love, of peace. Connect with the desires that are coming from a place of possibility, of expansion. If you knew you were completely safe, completely loved, completely taken care of, what would you do? What kind of content would you post? What kind of podcast would you record? How would you write an email? What would that email be about? In what tone would it be? The energy that you're going to put out into the world then is going to be completely different. We can go one layer deeper by inviting you to fully step into service and seeking only the approval of Father, Mother, God. This is something that I spoke about a few episodes ago. I don't remember the episode. I think it was 4 or 5 episodes ago where I spoke about only seeking the approval of God. When you move from that energy of I am whole, I am complete, the only person that I am seeking to get love and approval and support from is the divine and not humans, you thrive, you explode. Because you're not taking anything from someone else. You're just nourishing your relationship with who you really are, essentially. But if you want to dive more into that, I recommend that you listen to that episode. So step number 1 is really getting clear on your desires. And make sure that these desires come from your soul, from a place of possibilities. I want this because I can. I want this because I want to serve. I want this because it makes me feel alive, because it excites me, because why not? It would be so fun. It's a whole different energy than I want this and I know how to make it happen, because once I'll have it, then I'll feel da 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 da. You sense it, right? Once you have stated that into the world, and please speak it out loud. I am pointing to my throat right now because your throat chakra is a manifestation portal, just like your womb. They are incredibly powerful to bring the world that you desire into shape and form. Your thoughts are too. Your voice is the next level. So speak it out loud several times a day. I want this. Thank you, universe. I already have it. Speak it in a way that is already there. That's even more powerful. Once you have clarity on your desire, you have spoken it out, what is happening is that the universe, which is constantly checking on you, your frequency, your desire, your thoughts, your energy, is then reorganizing the world because you are speaking something out loud, because you are stepping in a new energy field, because you are creating. So the universe responds to your creation energy, to your desire to create and call in something particular. That's step number 2. So you have nothing to do for step number 2. That's the role of the spiritual realm. But what happens after? It's that step number 3 is you again. What you have to do here is listen. Listen to what the universe is going to tell you to do. Use your intuition. Respond to the signs. You can ask for signs. You can say, hey, universe, goddess, Father, Mother, God, this is not clear. I don't know how to move forward. Please show me a clear sign in the next 24 hours. Or I feel like doing this. Give me this sign in the next day so that I know this is what I need to do. You're in a conversation. You're in a relationship. Use that relationship. The more you use it, the more it will support you. That's how it works. It doesn't work the other way around. And then you can ask for guidance, you can ask for support, but if you create space, the support will come anyways. You'll be shown the way. So trust your intuition, because the universe knows exactly how to get you there. The universe is always saying yes. And it might be saying yes, but not right now, because we need to prepare you. So once you are listening and you start to take action, what might happen is that there are challenges showing up. Opportunities, conflicts, disappointments, heartbreak, pain. This is good. Well, I know this is not how you're going to feel. You probably don't really like me right now for saying that. And that's okay. But this is good. This means the universe is responding to you and is bringing you the opportunities to heal, to show up, to become the version of you that has what you said in the beginning you wanted. And so people call them tests. I don't really like to call them tests. They are really opportunities, gifts. They are happening for you. I'm sure you've heard that many times. So instead of asking yourself, why is this happening to me? Why did this person let me down? Why is my business falling apart? Why are my finances a wreck? Instead of falling into the victim mindset of why, instead ask yourself, okay, what is in this for me? What is there for me to learn in this situation? What am I being invited to step into? What parts of me have I not seen yet that I need to release to fully become the version of me that has this? This is happening for me. This is good. Thank you, universe, for responding to my initial desire. I am so grateful. Yes, it hurts right now and I want to kick and scream, but I also see how I am invited to step up and I'm being brought to my edge, and this is good. So you can kick and scream for a few minutes, but then come back to your center, come back to your God essence, and take action again from that place. Speak from that place, set the boundary from that place, make a decision from that place, keep moving from that place. And oftentimes it is going to involve some healing, some letting go. Because the more you can let go, the more it's going to create space for what you actually desire to come in. The universe is really always full. And your reality right now is a frequency that is full in and of itself. And what you desire might be of another frequency. So for that new frequency to come into your life, you need to let go of the old. It's like letting go of an old identity, letting go of an old story. Sometimes it's just letting go of a belief and a fear to then become the frequency that you desire. And this is now the exchange that you're in with the unseen. So let me begin again. Step number 1 is you state what you want. And if you make sure it's a soul desire, it's going to be much more fulfilling and much more fun and happen faster. Step number 2 is the universe responding and reorganizing life to bring that to you. And now sending you signs so that you know what aligned actions to take. Step number 3 is to listen. What am I being called to do? What feels expensive? What feels good? What's my intuition showing me? What are the signs coming up in my way? What are the random conversations that I'm suddenly having? And if it's not clear, ask for clarity, ask for signs, ask to be shown. Be in that relationship. Step number 5, again, is not yours. That's the universe that is saying, okay, well, now I'm going to bring you this opportunity, this challenge, this conflict for you to see more of yourself, see what you need to let go of, to step into that next reality, next timeline. Step number 6 is really you becoming an energetical match for it by letting go, by stepping up, by releasing, by healing, by taking more and more of the aligned actions outward, yes, but inward as well. Who are you being? Who are you becoming? Is the version of you that you are now in alignment with what you actually desire? You're going to want to say yes, but be really honest with yourself. Connect with the version of you that already has it and ask her, what do I need to let go of? Where am I holding myself back that I'm not seeing it yet? And so the step number 5 and 6 is going to be a dance. And you might have to do it several times. The universe showing you and you releasing, the universe inviting you and you stepping up. The universe, it's like keep going. Same with actually step number 3. Did I get lost in the numbers? Yes. So it's 1, you make a decision, a desire to the universe reorganizes life. 3, you take the aligned action, you listen, you take the aligned action. 4, the universe brings you the challenges. 5, you become. You release, you heal, you step up, you let go, you become. So this taking the aligned action, listening and taking the aligned action, step 3, step 4, and step 5, you're going to dance between these until you actually get it. That is step number 6 now, which is the universe bringing you what you've desired. And it's going to bring it to you through people, but essentially it's the goddess, it's Father, Mother, God bringing that to you. So I hope it makes it clear now that the how is not yours to figure out. No, the how, that's the universe reorganizing itself. But the universe is the spiritual realm. That's what it is. You are the one that has to materialize the dream, the vision, the desire, because you are the one that's in the 3D. And so your actions, your thoughts, your frequency, your beliefs, the person you're becoming, and taking the aligned actions with it is what creates it, what manifests it. But the how is not yours to figure out, because it will be brought to you through your intuition, through signs, synchronicities. So your role is to say what you want, take the aligned action, listen and take the aligned action, respond to the signs, ask for more guidance. This is all step number 3. And then step number 5, which is all about becoming, doing the inner work. Step number 3 is more the outer work. Step number 5 is more the inner work. And be in a conversation with the unseen, with the spiritual realm, because it's always showing you your edge, how you need to move forward. And the more you can be in a communion with it, the easier your life is going to flow, because you're going to work with these energies instead of working against them. We'll speak more about all of that in She Who Remembers on September 16, but I hope this was helpful. I hope this served. And I think I'm going to be speaking about this more and more, because I see so many of you stuck with this, and it's such a shame. So if it was not clear, comment under this podcast, send me a DM on Instagram, send me an email. I would love to hear from you, so I can maybe expand more on that topic in another episode. And hopefully I will see you on September 16 for She Who Remembers. Click the link below that's in the show notes of this episode. So much love. And I'll see you in the next episode.